have been in love with dancing for as long as I can remember. And I think at around the age of 7, my parents saw that I had this passion, so they signed me up for some classes, right? It was probably one of the best times of my life, but also one of my worst. It was painful because we had to go through rigorous exercises and all the rest, but at the same time it was so much fun because it was something I enjoyed and I liked to do. Everything was going really well. 3 years into my dance career, I went on vacation 1 month in the US. And the first thing I heard from my dance teacher when I came back was, "Oh my God, you've gained so much weight." And for me at that time, I was 10 going on 11. An 11-year-old is not usually affected by these things as much as you would think, or even they should not be affected by these things. Fast forward a few years, I joined rowing. I started to row as a new hobby. It was something new for me. I was extremely interested in it. But once upon a time where I was just a little overweight, a little too overweight to be able to perform on stage, I was also now not feminine enough to do it. My shoulder size increased. I started to gain a little bit of muscle. I tanned a lot. And throughout the next couple of years while I continued to dance, I heard a lot of critics about it. So I quit a few years later. I quit dancing for multiple different reasons, but this was probably one of the things about it that stuck with me the most. In the following years, every time I ever mentioned to someone that, "Oh, I used to dance," I used to get 2 reactions. The first reaction was very amused, like, "You dance? Okay, that's funny, because who dances as a hobby, right? Why would you go for classes, right?" And the second reaction was always the much more painful one. The little look they gave me up and down, and they were like, "Really? You dance?" And the "really" was always subtext, let me remind you. Why? Why was there this subtext? Why was there this look that they gave me? And let me tell you why. It was because I didn't look like a dancer or like I used to dance. To say that I blame social media for this would be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I feel it plays a very big part in the perception that everyone sitting here has about dancers. You'll usually see the more slim, polite, pretty-looking girls who are found in dance, and not usually people like me, a little taller than average, broader than average, darker than average. It makes a big difference to maybe you and the way that you will see an art form like that. So this little bit of insecurity that I was having about the way I looked, paired with the societal perception of dance in general, meant that my confidence was taking a major hit. And it became pretty bad, I'll be very honest. Where once I used to jump at the chance of being able to perform, 2 years flew by without me even thinking about it. I could not do it. It's gotten better. It's been a few years, and I believe personally that I have gotten better. I lost a little bit of weight, and I think I somewhat feel more comfortable with the way I am. And right now, all of you must be thinking, "Oh, you must be fine with it now, right? Because your objective was to lose the weight." But that's the thing. It isn't okay, because I am still drowning in body shame. I still feel insecure about the way I look and the way that people see me. It's been so bad once or twice that I actually considered quitting rowing, and that's a very embarrassing revelation for me, but I did, because I thought that if I quit rowing, I would lose the broadness, I would lose the weight, I would lose the muscle, my skin would lighten up, and I would be able to look a certain way that perhaps I thought was the best way for me to look. And I felt that way because I'd been told from a very young age that there were problems with the way I looked. On bad days, I can stand up in front of people or a group, and I tend to fall back. Because on bad days, my stomach looks too big and my arms look too bulky, and I cannot bring myself to look at myself in the mirror. And let me tell you, that is a problem for me, because being a dancer, you need to be able to see what you're doing to make your corrections. And if I can't look at myself and think about nothing but, oh my God, I look horrible, I will never be able to correct the technical styles that I might want to improve my skill. Something that has stuck with me for the last 8 years, it's really affected me even to this day. I'm still very conscious of the way I look. Body positivity is actually about facing yourself and thinking like, look, this is okay, that's okay. And I have a question for all of you. How many of you have looked at the mirror at least once in your life and not liked what you saw? Hands up if you have. And I have too. And I think there's all been a point where we have looked and we have cried about it, because I have seen myself and I have not liked it, and I have cried about it, not once, not twice, but multiple times. But at the same time, I want to change it. I really do. And so I've decided that I do this one activity every once in a while where I look myself in the mirror and I list things, 3 things that I hate about myself. And it really upsets me when I think about it, but I think it's something that I need to do. Because the next thing, and I want all of you to try this, the next thing you all want to do is look at yourself in the mirror and think about 3 things that you love about yourself. It can be anything. I don't want to hear from anyone that there's nothing. It can be the fact that you believe that you're a kind person, that your smile is nice, that today you said good morning to a stranger, just because those are 3 things that you may love about yourself. This is a work in progress. This is something that takes time. It's not an easy battle. It takes us time to work on it, and I feel that it's something that all of us really need to work on. I cannot always keep thinking I will love myself when. There are days when I still do. I will love myself when my life's gonna pass by just like that. And all of our lives are gonna pass by just like that. So we want to start today, make this a work in progress. Remember, there's no perfect end product for anything. It's you and the way you are and the way you want to be. Thank you.